Axel Alonso is an American comic book creator and former journalist, best known as the editor-in-chief at Marvel Comics, a role in which he has worked since January 2011. Alonso began his career as a journalist for New York's Daily News. He later worked as an editor at DC Comics from 1994 to 2000, during which he edited a number of books published under their Vertigo line, such as Doom Patrol, Animal Man, Hellblazer, Preacher and 100 Bullets. In 2000 he went to work for Marvel Comics as a senior editor. While there he edited Spider-Man and X-Men related books before ascending to vice president, executive editor in 2010, and editor-in-chief in January 2011, replacing Joe Quesada. He has also worked as a writer and inker. Early life. Alonso's father is from Mexico, and his mother is from England. A native of San Francisco, Alonso earned a bachelor's degree in sociology and politics from University of California, Santa Cruz and a master's degree in journalism from Columbia University. Career. Alonso began his career as a journalist for New York's Daily News. He also worked as a magazine editor before he entered the comic book industry. One day, he saw an ad in the New York Times for DC Comics editors and thought it would be fun to interview, never thinking he would actually be offered a job, though he ended up being hired by the publisher. Alonso's first published work for DC Comics was Doom Patrol No. 80 and Animal Man No. 73. Which were published in July 1994, the latter of which was part of the company's Vertigo line, which publishes books in genres such as horror and fantasy aimed at mature readers. Other Vertigo titles he edited until 1999 included Garth Ennis' Preacher, Black Orchid, Keyed Eternity, Hellblazer, Unknown Soldier, 100 Bullets and Human Target. In late September 2000 Alonso went to work at DC's main competition, Marvel Comics, as senior editor, where he worked on Spider-Man books such as The Amazing Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Spider-Man. His first published work as editor was The Amazing Spider-Man trade paperback that collected issues number 30 to 32 of that title, and was published in 2001. Alonso spent more than a decade as an editor at Marvel, working on some of its most notable characters. In 2001, he began editing The Amazing Spider-Man. He would continue on the title during J. Michael Straczynski's critically acclaimed run on the title, which began in 2003. It was also in 2001 that Alonso helped to create the Marvel Max line for mature readers. In 2002, Alonso, then a senior editor, had lured Frank Cho's to Marvel on the basis of Cho's comic strip series Liberty Meadows. Alonso approached Cho to revamp the third-string character Shanna the She-Devil, a scantily clad jungle lady whom Cho recast in a 7-issue 2005 miniseries as an Amazonian naif, the product of a Nazi experiment with the power to kill dinosaurs with her bare hands but an unpredictable lack of morality. Alonso is also credited with bringing crime writers to work on Marvel titles, such as Duane Swierczynski and Victor Gischler. Alonso edited stories featuring the Western character Rawhide Kid, the first of which was the 2003 bi-weekly Marvel Max miniseries Rawhide Slap Leather by Ron Zimmerman and John Severin, which drew controversy for its depiction of the titular character as a homosexual, albeit through the use of innuendo in the book's design and dialogue. The series was labeled with a parental advisory explicit content warning on the cover. Alonso stated of the miniseries, "We thought it would be interesting to play with the genre. Enigmatic cowboy rides into dusty little desert town victimized by desperados, saves the day. wins everyone's heart, then rides off into the sunset, looking better than any cowboy has a right to. Alonso would later edit the 2010 miniseries Rawhide Kid, The Sensational Seven by Zimmerman and Howard Chaykin. Although primarily an editor, Alonso also wrote Spider-Man, One More Day Sketchbook, a 2007 tie-in book to the Spider-Man One More Day storyline, and inked issues 3 and 4 of the 2008 miniseries Nick's No Way Home. Alonso would also oversee critically acclaimed runs on X-Men, such as X-Men Messiah Complex 2007-08 and Curse of the Mutants 2010-11. He was promoted to vice president, executive editor in early 2010, and oversaw cross-promotional projects such an issue of the ESPN The Magazine, which depicted several NBA basketball players as Marvel superheroes. The issue was published in October 2010 by ESPN, which, like Marvel, is owned by parent company Disney. In July 2010, Alonso and fellow Marvel editor Tom Brevoort began a weekly column on comic book resources called Marvel T&A, a new installment of which appears every Friday, along with Joe Quesada's Cupo Joe column. On January 4, 2011, Alonso was named editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics, replacing Joe Quesada, who was named chief creative officer the previous June. In attaining the position of editor-in-chief, he became only the third person in 15 years to hold the position, and one of the few in the company's history to gain it without tumult or corporate bloodshed. Personal life. Alonso has a son named Tito, who was 11 as of March 2014. Awards. Wins: 2004 Eagle Award for Favorite Comics Editor, 2006 Eagle Award for Favorite Comics Editor, 2010 Eagle Award for Favorite Comics Editor. Nominations: 2007 Eagle Award for Favorite Comics Editor, 2008 Eagle Award for Favorite Comics Editor. Axel Alonso at the Comic Book DB.